Okay, so, hello guys, it's me, Gaming Star here, and today I am back with another episode of the Greatest Attorney Adventures. Last time we had basically completed the adventure of the Runaway Room, and let's just say that was one hell of a trial. Like in terms of like nothing was really resolved, and it was just nothing was really resolved. Everything's just empty. So, and we also got the non guilty verdict that we needed to pass. We passed the test, but it feels wrong. It's kind of like those one moments. It's pretty probably the second time in the entire series where it just feels wrong to get a not guilty verdict. It just feels so wrong. Like you just feel dirty inside. You just feel so dirty. I feel dirty. So yeah, this time we're gonna go ahead and do the Adventure of Clara Kokoro. This is gonna be our first full case. That isn't like our first full case, 100% full. It's kind of investigation and then the trials. So like I'm gonna do, like I said in the last episode, I'm gonna split them up. So we're gonna start with the investigation. Let's go. Yes, the Adventure of Clara Kokoro. Here we are. I'm gonna turn off the mic real quick because we're gonna have a little. So let me turn it off. And yeah.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Alright, February 19th, 9:47 a.m. Here we go. Chief Lord Justice Office. Let me put it like 35. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Nadahodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious. I feel like we were staying in the palace. And with the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than even the middle of the day. It was bad, so after a time that's his booty, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from the side of the mattress to another. Oh yes, yes, it's sort of night you only dream of normally. Except when I learned that we owed £3 to the rooms, the dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance inviting, I just wondered without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, the sum of money would put a roof over their head for a whole year. They tried, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we presented with the bill. I really am sorry. Bill. Oh, never mind that. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire schedule could be used in 10 days or less. Ugh, London's a scary place. Ah, good morning to you in this early hour. Oh, hi, Strongheart. How you been? Oh, yes. What? Hi. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report the outcome of the trial obeyed yesterday. This amazing show doesn't bat an eyelid, even the president opposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you have a very impressive invitation to the British court system practices. Oh, yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Nadahodo performed his duty to the end. Bitter end. Yes, I've already been apprised of the events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may have considered the test pass. Oh! No longer are you a student of the Empire of Japan, and henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. The country is delighted to welcome young talent in such a remote eastern island. Thank you very much. So I'm a lawyer now. In the view of new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take on something at once. I trust that it won't be a problem. Another case? Already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience, I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction. Do I? It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? The culpability of the defendant was not at the present time, but established in his court. Coincidentally, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Well, Lord Van Zix, it's been a pleasure, so it has. As for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have gone about the defense. And then he laughs. It just feels wrong. You know? Really wrong. I can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo, it's just that I never managed to search the truth. And then the trial ended. Wow, been in trouble a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? Magnus McGilded passed away, immediately following the trial. No! What? Mr. McGilded is dead? Yeah, we saw him burn alive. Last episode. He burnt. I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. Tell me! McGilded's death, what happened, bro? We know what happened, technically. I don't understand. What happened? How can it be dead? After a trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you perceivably recall, an omnibus has been wheeled to the courtroom. Yes, the crime scene. Exactly. That's fabricated. Because of course that was the scene of the crime which McGill has been accused of. Precisely. Well, the bailiff's attention diverted by somewhat or better. The omnibus went up in flames. No. How come such a thing had happened? That is being investigated as we speak. But already, the police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage. That is McGilded. That's awful! The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened? That is also being investigated as we speak. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGill did mention going back to the court and looked in an omnibus. He did actually. He did, because he was... Well, I must be making tracks now. They stand to an inspection. Sorry, one inspection. We're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. And ask if I could be present for him. An inspection of omnibus? Now, to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then, who was Miss Gizla talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making their investigation. The matter was no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police. Poor Mr. McGilded. I didn't trust him anyway. British court. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was... Wow! Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the subtlety of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Sis must have such a way of words. And you seem to have failing to find the right ones. The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. Simple? That was simple? I didn't see it as I believe I mentioned yesterday morning. It was a trial you couldn't lose. I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case wasn't anything but simple. I agree with that. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. The fact I'm still finding it hard to believe we managed to get a favorable verdict. True. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you received not guilty verdict to set out the chief. And it can only be attributed to exceptional talent. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. Most of the least, I the truth. Which is precisely why I haven't prepared a new case for your invention before. What's going on? What is he going to say before? New case. What's the new case you sent me to? Already. Can you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me. It's a murder. And the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry. It's nothing so alarming. It's quite so urgent as your last assignment. The fact is, the case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did you just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died. As yet. And the trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. Oh, thank you, God! 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. So the trial's tomorrow then. everything alright? Yeah, I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruto. I don't know if I can face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGill's trial. Ah, yes, I nearly forgot. There's one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there's currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh? The situation remains unchanged. The trial will start tomorrow when the defendants are represented. And that happens, I'll need to remind you of the inevitable outcome. Yeah, guilty. The most terrible end awaits the defendant. Yes, that's right. Oh, here we go again. Your time is up. Excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. You live in a clock. There's now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. True. And one more thing. There's something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something that you intended to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. Yes, that's true. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh! What? Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world worked, that we could change injustice in Japan. Now that he's gone, I like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh! Another thing. Continue. On the way here in the steamship, he said something to me. Something very important that I have to do. Something very important. What exactly would that be? He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he ever made it to Great Britain. You're out of time. Well, thank you for the enlightening discussion. That was quick. Which I thought, what's this all about? Mr. Soki never once mentioned anything of that sort to me. I urge you both to focus your attention on the matter at hand. I've taken the liberty of summoning this police inspector in charge of the case. He will apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? So I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell. There's something very important I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly he never told me. Anyway, we better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, you know. Hi! Oh, those fish and chips, bro. Could we trouble you? What do you think? Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, young Japanese upstart. Up for the weather doesn't get any English out of your head, you know. Ugh, but Susato-san told me it was foolproof. A busy man, very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having the likes of you talking to me. Oh, I'm very ever sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers will be able to say? I haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the big wigs these days. Oh, because there's some bumpkin who's named some country I never even heard of. And a ripping sound has a reputation. You're going to towners. The one to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Yusuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susa. It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable! How did she pull that off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. Gregson? Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective's name something for her? Inspector Gregson. Inspector? Are you perhaps... the Inspector Gregson? You're acting like you know this man, Susato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him. He's very well, in fact, very well. Yes, he's featured prominently in adventures as Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, in that publication. What was it called again? Randus Magazine? That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy wonderful, friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary to you, Inspector, isn't he? You have earned his praise? Gregson is the pick of bad lad at Scotland Yard, those are his own words. That's his highest praise? Well, Mr. Schultz is practically known for giving compliments to suits. That he is not, and thanks to the magazine, my name's known all over London town. That's great, isn't it? From the start, I was a little flattered by the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, my reputation in the yard went through the roof. Well, that's wonderful. No, it's not! There's something more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now, they're whispering some rumors about under my breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in the stories. The fame's gone in his head, stuff like that. Gosh, you really think people are saying mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what the folk are like. For sure what they're saying! Eggs are eggs! I get the feeling detective could be very hard work. Oh dear. Perhaps their sudden rise of fame does change people. The case? Tell us about the case, bro. So, about the case the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. My nose. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means that as far as the concerned lawyers couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. As a young woman was walking the pavement in Briar Row when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it was fatal. Was still laid up in the hospital unconscious. That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack a poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whatever a successful takedown, would you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Nadahodo. Brace yourself for your biscuit, you anger her now. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time to have a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So there must be something left at the scene. You led the culprit? Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question? Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on that one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to this trial tomorrow is Lord Barack von Zieks. No! Sounds like you've heard of him, then. Oh, yes. Very familiar with Lord Van Zieks. Believed to be the hairbringer of death himself. The Reaper of the Bailey. Even has Reaper in the wine bottle, which is a really cute detail. Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Barack von Zieks, who we faced in court yesterday. Mr. McGildy told us about him in the trial, didn't he? When Van Zieks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. This Reaper, the Bailey nickname, I suppose he's earned it because every defendant advocate is found guilty, is that it? What is it for, then? Well, if that's the case, we should inform the inspector. Then yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Host secured a verdict of not guilty. Huh. What of it? Oh, well, I think that means that Reaper Bailey could possibly say the defendant. No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? What happened to the bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. Ah, Magnus McGildy came a cropper in an omnibus when he went up in flames. So you can't ride up to say save the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, even Van Zieks get a dirty stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles. He works magic. Black magic. I've had a good long think about that, are you? Are you supposed to believe that? Right, well, I failed every request, and I'm very nearly out of chips. I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out the investigation, sir. It was a Briar Road, you said, and the incident took place. That's correct, ma'am. If you had the holding of cells, you're a criminal himself. You branded him as a criminal already? He's as good as is, shaking like a leaf in a cell. He is. I'll give you a check of nothing else. He's inmate 53. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and show you the way. Inmate 53. Thank you. Bye, Gregson. Bye, Gregso. So that, I don't think anyone would be able to say. Something troubling you, Mr. Nahodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing a Reaper in court again is... well, I think too much there's no shame turning the case down takes the courage too. But if that man is just insistent, you could well imagine he was shaking like a leaf in a cell. But for one, I find to say that funny. So, if I'm to be honest, I'm really in the shock of yesterday's events myself, and I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I like to try, so maybe I'm make requires do you really think I have to ask? After all, I am your usual assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes! Let's go! Let's get out of here. So let's go over to the prison. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. Feels like just like a dungeon. Yes, and having experience in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Nuthold. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in the cell here, but it's so dark here back here. Can we make out? He's like, MA53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop eating, get back in the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me my number is utterly unbelievable and justly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Nuthold, hold on, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but it was hearing things, was I? Their complaints was in Japanese. Excuse me, but shh, quiet! They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it! Right. So, can I ask you exactly? There. Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost. We being you no harm, prisoner son. Are you Japanese by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for the outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. You're just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am! A rightful fixer for the war of the land! So hear it, that's sweet. Sentimental tones of compatriot's voice here in the damn dark hellhole was a momentarily moving moment! Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? What compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nippon! A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been some misunderstanding here. I wonder, who is the kind of to tell us what happened? Suspect, I suppose. Yes, I will! Shannon, stay sullen, silent! I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems so happy. Yes, he does. I just have actually good reason to be. Thank you, your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Yojosuke Naruhodo. I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikatoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously named Nutsame! Soseki Natsume. Soseki Natsume is actually a real guy. It's actually a real person in, that was actually a foreign exchange student. He actually was. You can look at him up. He's also really well-known author in Japanese culture, so you can look him up. Soseki Natsume-san. What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. It's something a nom de plume. A nom de plume being an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san. No, don't be so prying. I'm much more refined than that. A haiku really reminds you of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over by the government? Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to study in English. First, I had to suffer the misery. Now this is beyond pale. Suffer the misery? You want to study here? No, I mean, I had interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can't do it. No. What do you mean? If they told me to study English literature that I could have understood, that's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, justly unreasonable. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I turned a blank piece of paper. Where's a white washi? You must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, as I'm often told. I'd often like to be told, it seems. The accusation against you. Could you perhaps tell us exactly who been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Murder? Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I seen the person who did it, you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, seems the case would get rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's a curse, the curse of London. It's incredibly inexcusable, irritatingly inconvenient. So Soseki-san was at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. Strange. It is vital that we find out more about this case. About the case. It was an accursed evening, just as snow had started to clear heavy fog. And at a bookshop to buy some books. It was on the way back to the cursed lodgings. Sure, the bookshop was the curse too. Everything was a curse. So I was walking along the accursed pavement. I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat. She was just went over to overtake her. Woo! She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slab stone at my feet. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. It was terrifying. I was terrified. I had to get out of there. So I ran as fast as I liked to carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English as in the young woman at that? I'm defiant, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see, a young woman. Oh, it was Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anyone pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one. Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else in the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? Conundrum. What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if the Soseki-san just told the truth, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim, and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled if I've seen. I did. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Yeah, you! What did you just say? Nothing! I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I'm a little too lally. Actually, that's not what's troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry? He didn't touch the victim. There was nobody at the scene to see him. How did the police ever discover when he was there in the first place? Oh, yeah, she's right. It was him. That cursed great detective. He led me to the police. Oh, the bad luck. A cursed great detective. Could it be? I'll never forget the man's name as long as I live. His haughty laugh and self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, busy boy, be gone! You may have cursed you until the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes! I knew it! Mr. Sholmes? Herlock Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, wasn't sure. It was the morning after a night run unfolded. A baby before me. I was longing to silver tart cheese when some men suddenly burst through my door. They stared and shouted at me. "'Tis the police! Put the weapon down!" Yes, it was a fit silver. Yes, it was hard. But I wasn't eating weapon. Disgusting, desire, discrimination, devils! You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was in the middle of the police, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Herlock Sholmes! It's actually Herlock Sholmes. He's English. I just found a famous name in the detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm a knife-wielding madman. Me? This week's spotted kid of a man? I wonder if a great deduction process led him to the conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most reasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, filth, flattery. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English, true. Unless there's some Japanese. Good point. But my blank, and I knew how to answer, but I didn't know what to say, so I just kept repeating things like, "Yes, I do, and I'm fine." The next thing I knew, I was in the manacles before I knew I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. Mr. Naruto, Esquire! Oh, you can just call me Nanahodo, and we're speaking English. A simple mister more than enough. Oh, yes, alright, yes. This country's poisoning my mind! But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Thing is, I'm just a student like yourself on a study tour. A student? I haven't defended... I have defended a case in Old Bailey, only one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what the justice of the country even means. Oh, no, hold on. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a locum lawyer, I suppose. But the armband is the market defense lawyer of a great empire. It's a keepsake from a man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what you're saying about me. Oh, what do you mean? The lawyers, they're all British defense lawyers. They won't defend me. Goodness, why? Why do you say that? For the same reason I did it before when it happened. There was only one victim of myself around the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks like I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. So I heard them laughing at me before. I did my year trial find any punctuation at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And of course a foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say, this man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. That's awful. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just that. Give me a little time, please. Huh? I'll do what I can for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as early as possible. If we find some clues, we'll give us a much better chance, I'm sure. My nose. Ah, yes. I got it full of stuffy. Yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you, locum student Mr. Nanahodo Esquire. We should be going, Nanahodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. So, we have nothing more to talk about with him. Let's move to Briar Road. Let's go. Look at that bike, it's kind of broken. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah, look, Mr. Nanahodo. They're investigating over there. Look at the relegation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men in Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That's their job, you know. Mr. Nanahodo, to see it with my own eyes. You have to pick the adventures of her life. I never dreamt I'd ever see it. It's close. Real Bobby's helmet. The what helmet? Mario. You staring at Papi, Mario? What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. Hey, Gregsy. Those are tourist Trav sure is well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to holding cells then. What do you think? He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. Well, you see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The blokes in the courtroom tomorrow would have them ready to support on conclusion. Still cold air rejection. Take heart. London at times the year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Scotland Yard. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I'm fascinated by that place. The Yard's mostly sophisticated police organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, you know, I've always dreamed of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look apart, seeing the policeman with this helmet on. You certainly get that sense of this band who will take no nonsense to protect the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around, rounds the laborers and beats so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yep, raps on the windows a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. Had no idea. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, Tyler is patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day, so the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. Oh, fuck! That's definitely taking things a step too far. And then it gets dark, of course. He's some poor job lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh my. I suppose it's between all these years, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well. A chase after criminals trying to evade the law? I'm not sure you could call it between, exactly more alongside, but yes. But yes. They're expected to handle the jobs as well. I do have men kneeling over from time to time, I admit. I always dreamed of work under the sun, as I said. But it's a heavy heart. So shall request your dream to you, Mr. Noho. Your heavy heart will be a heavy head if you do. About the case. It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago. There's just open bit in the paper. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed in the blade from behind. It is right that the lady is still unconscious now. You mentioned she's being treated in a hospital? I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smart, and she won't be able to find out much about her at all. As both of you have him take a statement from her, of course. Here's a map of the local area. I mean, she can take it people. Really? Are you sure? It's the art police policy to give lawyers dependent suspects the odd preparation to go on. I haven't actually accepted a job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. What a grateful accept. The local man, thank you so much. Anyway, as far as we know, no one's on the scene other victim than a fellow countryman. So, what do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is claiming to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can't be sure nobody else is present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but I certainly can't be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. Oh! Ah, come on. Very typical foggy London day, and your client is obviously didn't see him. There were witnesses now. Witnesses? Who are the witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens of all of London. He's a coper from Scotland Yard. A policeman? That might change things. Yep. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked? Nothing particular about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a Bobby, catching him bang and acting all that. What do you think would be possible? First, asking the policeman a few questions. Be my guest, you can ask him what you like in court tomorrow. Oh, I have no doubt if someone is a witness, so you will give us something to look forward to. That's then. There's no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. The policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you this could be a job difficult indeed. Yes, not judicial assistant, I could have warned me too against that. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led the suspect, I heard it was Sir Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color drained from his cheeks. Tomorrow's trial. That twitchy Japanese bloke was in his trial tomorrow. You're the defendant or not? Well, I am going to, though. Makes no difference to me, I'll just say this. The London lawyer with their salt would touch that case with a barge pole, because the prosecution be handled by Reaper the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now, it's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper, he hasn't appeared at court once for a good few years now. Yes, I did hear something of that effect. And the only people he usually bothers are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals? The violent ones? That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed regardless of their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for his accused, so sure. That's just my point, Sunshine. This young woman was stabbed and didn't kill her, I couldn't say the intent was there. So this is the sort of case I expected the Reaper about to sink his teeth into. For want of a better phrase. Well, obviously it's a matter of friction, is it? Nope, there's gotta be more to it. Some reason he's taken interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of the Lord of Darkness? You have to ask him yourself tomorrow's trial. Are we really gonna have to face Reaper again, Lord of Darkness, as you put it? Mr. Sholmes. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. Thank you. Look at Mario! Kitty patootie! I have popcorn right here. Fiddle faddle! Ah! That man's an amateur! And I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh? I don't know where he gets the information from, but he turns up to the scene of the crime, wanders around causing rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case! This is quite astounding. Isn't he? I'm eating popcorn, so popcorn is more for you guys. He has the great help to Scotland Yard through, isn't he? Gabble gabble! I've never seen this before. Oh yes, that's the Random magazine. The wonderful publication adventures Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, the wonderful publication season includes several of the Yard's detectives' stories, and so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us, asking to win the Yard. It's an endless adventure to be included in Sherlock Holmes' tales at all. Well, I suppose they're not into that. It works the socks off every one of us, only to be thrown in public thanks to that obnoxious detective. As dangerous as the Scotland Yard, as he is to our criminals. All of our criminals. Can't be really true, can it, Inspector? A good detective can be a police have a complex relationship. Well, I don't have any more useful information about the detective. Mr. Nahuda, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me. Must speak to him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Schultz? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Schultz, exactly. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Nutsman did blame Mr. Schultz for all of this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes it involve party in the case here, nor do I hope not. I assure you, if there's such desire to meet Mr. Schultz again. The trouble is, we have no idea where his address is. It's Baker Street! How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's some examples we can go with this, but I'm better try to find a little bit more suicide. So I gets any more excited and unpredictable. Who'd have? Stop in the carriage! Oh, we have to read it already. Our great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Let's get out of here. Onward to Schultz Suite. Oh, picture, you must be dreaming.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Alright, we're here. Oh, this is where the great detective makes his life so surreal to be here somehow. If I describe the story specifically. This is 2010. Ah, many famous cases have been solved here in this area. Oh, I suppose most of it is. I never read the story, so it's hard to get back inside. It seems detective chases the villain's relentlessly as he disappears in the fog down London Street. Oh, the relevant the romanticism! Can you feel the heart pumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So if you don't mind. I have to stand here and soak the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, always. I'm so obsessed. Wow. See if there's a friend. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Hello, is a big case, Mr. Schultz. Hello? Wait, aren't you? Oh, how rude of me. Think of some tea. I hear it's a shade girl. Mrs. Hutto, did you see that girl who was just here? Oh, yes. This is truly extraordinary. To think that the King of Bohemia came to the very room and asked Mr. Schultz to take his case. The King of Bohemia? King Wilhelm Gosser is seeking to involve us tonight, of course. Sorry, I am drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed, and have a freshly baked cookie as well. Ah! It's you! I didn't recognize her too. Last episode. Ah, there you are. I'm taking with that as well. I was looking forward to that trial experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, because I see you. I'm, well, inventor, I suppose, of that machine. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGill's trial to defend his antechamber. I never met a lawyer from the Far East before. How were you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London? Oh, yes, it was challenging. I see, I hope it's disappointing, you know? Oh, thank you. Is she supposed to look that color? Oh, my, what a fragrant mellow flavor. Hey, it's so weird. I heard a lot of different leaves designed by outlet fatigue, you know? You gotta be exhausted after your long voyage here. I love the kick of it. We're about to defend a Japanese man. I wish you lost long. Mr. Sholmes telling you about this HHS? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Mr. Sholmes, do you, sure? Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger in the boat who brought to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. Which first of yesterday travel briefly? How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things? What do you think? That's more to a point. Why is she here? This is so sweet. I'm silly if you haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. Or I'm gonna call her Edie's because that's the way I pronounce it. So I know it's supposed to be Iris, but I'm gonna call her Edie's just like I did in Trials and Tribulations because that's how I've always pronounced it. So if you're gonna complain about it in the comments, complain because I'm gonna pronounce it that way. So I'm gonna pronounce it Edie's Wilson, not Iris. So complain about it all you want. I'm gonna call it Edie's Wilson. Once again, Hurley. Just a disclaimer. Edie's, isn't it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait. This can't be. Did you say their name is Wilson? What's the matter with Susato-san? So flustered about it. Yes, that's right. What are your names? Oh, you're no scared out of Hodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. My little Hoji's assistant, Susato Mikatoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie? And Runo? There's more to this girl, VC. I have so many questions to ask, I don't know where to start. Let's go ahead and examine a little bit. You guys should get an achievement for scanning the violin. Right here. Ah, I've seen a picture of Western musical instruments like this called a violin, isn't it? But children have the violin playing. Oh, really? Absolutely, it's often explained stories. Inspirational, inspirational. I immediately started playing the Koto when it's the closest Japanese string instrument I could find. What a shame you shouldn't bring it in London. Oh, yes, well. Papa was beaming when I asked him if he would buy me one. After a while, he asked when he practiced when he was out of the house. So now I'm an ornament in my room. That must have been an awkward conversation. Second-rate strings. So yeah, that's the achievement. There you go. You see I got it on top screen. Yeah. I never had that before, so that's completely brand new to me. Have ideas. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Black Peter. What does that mean? You also get achievements if you look at the board of ideas every single time up until the final case in the second game. You do this every single time. You do this in order to get an achievement. I'll come back to the blackboard later. So that's what you do. You do that every single time. Let's talk. Edie's. It was you who ran yesterday, wasn't it, Old Bailey? Yeah, that's right. You were real so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, no, not at all. I'm sorry it could have been rubber. That was the time we had a large gun pointed at us. Oh, God! Like this? Ah, think it back now. You left Mr. Trade, didn't you? Hey, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Gina, yeah, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. I was very naughty of her to fix me in sensation like that. Are you referring to the trial dispute gun-like contraption? Exactly, so I followed her to get it back. Let's actually think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my invention! This girl's dangerous! Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock. Herlock Schultz. We live here together. I had no idea the detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well then, your relationship with Mr. Sholmes. Father-daughter kind of relationship? Well, I expect if I had a large any kind of London are very expensive. So our solution is to share the cost of a partner, a roommate. Your roommates! And they were roommates. I hope you don't mind me asking you these, but how old are you? 10 last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what story there is. Oh boy. Oh yes, there's something I must ask of you. Go ahead, of course. Go ahead, Susie. A very great fan of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes here. Oh, you have a copy of Random's magazine? Yes, I've read every issue delivered all the way to Japan on the ship. Oh, it's so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories. That's right. Hurley is solving amazing cases you see and tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if only one person ever heard of them, don't you think? Goodness! Last night he was telling me of a new case he just solved escapes from traveling faraway land. So I was in the middle of typing manuscript next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes, I'll let you know a secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure Speckled Band. The Speckled Band! That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change the details of the story, here and there. Yeah, of course. This time I had the idea of making the venomous snake be cause all the trouble. That was Mr. Scholl's first thought as well, actually. Yes, of course, even though a snake might not be credible fit the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. It's a poetic license is justified to make it more filling, I think, don't you? Yeah. So you mean to say stories about Mr. Scholl's to publish read this magazine? All read by me? Yes, a modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are read by Dr. of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. So the sun's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the Doctor of Medicine part? Oh, that's true too. I'm a Doctor of Medicine. Oh, 8 years old. She was born with a fucking degree. She was born with a degree in Doctor of Medicine, and you got it. God damn. I'm 10 years old. Well, that's quite incredible. She was, you know how long it takes? You know how long it takes to typically get a PhD? You know, to become a doctor? 10 years. So she spent basically her whole life doing this shit. If you want to get technical. But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly. The story's a bit more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective, a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susepto-san, she looks like her world is falling apart. It actually just now. About before. Yes? What's on your mind, Runo? Tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and what a difficult trial tomorrow. You know all that? Oh, that was you. Please tell us how you did it. Explain yourself. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Edith Wilson, proud to present Logic and Reason Spectacular. I love that. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I mentioned yesterday the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said that we both arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So I was reasonably confident that you must have only arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted the case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you weren't aware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? I noticed the red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that you visited local prison by a suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah! And they used the stamp to keep coming, you see. I didn't realize. A red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, they told me that you yesterday concluded trial practice but gilded. The two of you had already crossed it for an inmate in local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particular sad expression on your face, so I concluded the prisoner was to be a friend or relative, likely to be a friend or relative. Allow me to believe that you must be accepting your case. I see. But how could you have known the trial's tomorrow? Well, barely been home for a few hours yesterday. Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. They told me he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, who he must have been. Mr. Nutsame! Now, Rito, is that a fancy Japanese sword? And I think your outfit's called kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it's clear you both could jump down yourselves and put the two together to decide you must be the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there's only conclusion the facts can lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. You actually are pretty correct. Wow. There's a note in the bed. That's a piece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley will always be stabbing his nose with a knife. You know, he's silly. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it in the background. And that's all there is, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Edith Wilson, and that was the Great Deductions. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Edith. Truly a great deduction. You must learn something in Mr. Schultz's delivery. Oh well, just stopping early. You're amazing good news. Can you tell us the case involving Japanese man? You will, Edith, please. The case of Japanese man. So yesterday, Mr. Schultz apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station, taken directly to the crime scene. Great to talk to this popular man, it seems. The problem was stopped in the quiet street somewhere in town. The witness who had been a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man. Mr. Russell would be on doubt. Sucking son said he didn't see him as a at all. So it seems there was witnesses after all. Hurley used his great deduction powers to toward the man's address. It was lodging was nearby. He went directly there to the police, and they find a short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear. Ugh, Mr. Schultz's great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Wait, he's a great detective. Still, convincing that incident only occurred 2 days ago. So tomorrow's challenge, wasn't it? Yes, we have time to investigate properly. This is that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing his best, but they can't stay on top of everything. Oh dear. Yes, no suspicious dire. That's why I can't afford to spend so much time investigating cases and trying the criminal record. Proof from many are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. Yeah, that's true. That's terrible. I suppose it's harsh reality in the workings of the world's greatest justice system. Yeah. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold much hope for Saseki-san. Thank you for answering so many questions, Edie. That has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. That's so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Schultz is at the moment? As you guess, you'd like to ask questions about this case as well. Ah, well, I expect Hurley's still investigating the scene. Case involving Mr. Nuts, you mean? Yes, Mr. Nuts. So, May? Hurley said he was going to his lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him later. Do you know where the lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to the cross detective with the name Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregson this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Edith's postcard. It reads, tell the gentleman in black whoever he wants to know. I trust that it won't be a problem. Gosh, it makes the Inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Edie, so I'll give it a try. Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing the manuscript of Speckled Band, and I'll be making more special blends of tea. Come back soon again. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Edie. Well, Mr. Nadahodo is back to see the crime. Let's go. So, somewhat dubious extra influence over the man's Scotland Yard. We headed back to see Edith's curious notice of coins in hands. Let's do it. Let's keep going with this. Looks like as though the police were still here carrying out an investigation. Perfect, so let's Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Let's see what he brings with chips and the silver tip Edith gave for him. Hi, look what I got! Baker Street, London. Tell just in black whatever he wants to know. Think the work won't be a problem? Edith Wilson. Here you go. Inspector Gregson, do you have one? Sorry, I'm just very busy, man. She was your attention for you. I'm not. We have this for you. A present from me to Edith. What? Her ladyship. Get that here at once! Come on, hand it over! It's for me! Ah! Well, yeah. What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously. But that's a lot more than that. As well. It's an appearance fee. That's what it is. An appearance fee. Oh, I see. You mean... Yeah, payment. That's right, for the venture of Herlock Schultz. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time. Oh, that's cute, actually. Yes, of course. You know, explicit inspector. I read it badly. Of course, you're using my name if I might say so. It does make me a butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector. Looking for you. Never mind that. So, what do you want to know, eh? Sorry? Tell me the gentleman in black whenever he wants to trust you when problem says. Obviously not a problem. Then go fire away. What do you want to know? Well, Inspector, we very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ah, the little nice little mustache Japanese fellow? He lives in a right old hovel, just right over there. Look. With that broken bike on the first floor of the house where the wreck of a bicycle is propped up. Right there. That is nearby indeed. That's like literally across the street. If I remember rightly, the landlord is Mr. John Garrideb. Right, well, if you see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards, do you hear? I mean it. Tell her the Gregson sends her very best. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Whoa, man. Goodbye for now, then. Long live her ladyship. Yeah, listen about a fish and chips will solve world hunger, Gregson. So shall we get to find the Mr. Smith's lodgings? Definitely. This guy going. God damn. Mr. Smith's lodgings. Oh! May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be his residence of Mr. John Garrideb? Indeed it would, sir. What are you calling? My name is Joseph Nadahodo, and I am... Mr. Nadahodo is representative of Mr. Sosuke Natsume. I believe you take lodgings here? We would very much like to ask him questions of our client. One moment, please. I shall convey a message to Mr. Garrideb. Come here, bitch! Did you see that, Mr. Seto? That was real-life English made. I know, as I understand, anybody who's studying an English society of household staff. First time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this keeps getting better. It really feels like we've arrived now, doesn't it? When it made the butler experience will be complete. Well, I'm not sure, but Gold, if I better understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Kato will see you now. This way. Alright. Let's talk to the man with the moon-ass haircut. Good day to you, John Garrideb at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is your skin out of Hodo, defense lawyer. Mighty, come here. He's not getting up. Took a shot at a knee a few years back at the Battle of My Want. I earned a medal for my pains, but a withdrawal from my service handled the reins and up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down the stairs now, I can tell you. Not much you can imagine. Yes, it's quite climb up there, the second floor, isn't it? I was panting all the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Nadahodo. You think so? Here you go, Mario. Popcorn for you. Forget no doubt, you're very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just full rough, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though. Go to split into the wall. Want to fetch it down, Joan, so that people see it properly. Joan, fetch the... Ah! Dodge it, woman! Be careful! Oh, dearie me, I beg your pardon, sir. You jolly nearly took my skin off my hands. Should be more careful, sir. What the hell? Are you ready to have it? Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right? Yes, we know. Very grateful to answer the question for us. Oh, Mario! Especially if it keeps the peace on here in Blighty. The forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, I'm sure you're aware. So this case very much public eye is aware. Oh, it is? Ever had some famous detective poking around. You know, this old house, would you believe? Yes, it's a Herlock Sholmes. Might have scratched me on my toe. I was gonna catch the cap's name. Not really my cup of tea, my detective business. Oh, have you a copy of Randus magazine here? So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the chap's investigating the forwarder's rumors to speak. So he's in a Sokeki-san's room. Badly notices why there's a whole neighborhood switching turns now. I don't like all this fuss. It's really unsettling. About Mr. Natsume. About Mr. Natsume and Mr. Garrett, please do tell us. Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Well, I've been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? They moved in very recently then. Most of the time, one in the ground floor and one just below us. First floor room been available a week ago, you see. There have been... Ah! That's it, Joan! That's all, Joan. Don't be careful. Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. If you want to know my opinion. I thought he was shady sort of moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. There's a shady red, of course, sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. Why do you have a fucking cannon in your room? This goddamn cannon. John's in trouble. Sooner or later, I was going to do something untoward. I'm really wrong about anything. Anything else is stuck suspicious about the man at all? Yes, oh yes, indeed there was. Oh, she's dying to tell us. The shady lodger. Shut the fuck up! Can you notice anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my word, yes, the man shaded in an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, I'll take the man's room, absolutely stuffed to the books of more than I'm gonna read. There's so much passes the time, too, when you're a living soul, a single visitor call. These Charles have an old bookshop every single day and comes back with a 5 light gas fire. The fine little man's up long past it, everyone else in the house has gone to bed, too. Oh, I see. Much man on the ground floor goes to bed around 9 each night. But I've never known Japanese adults to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Well. Could you clarify something, I wonder? Or pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I understood the leader and the lodges over the floor of the house, is that correct? That's right, yes. They both below us, the first floor on the street level. And as you know so much about the lives of their lodgers. The precise times when they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed. That's true. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of off, isn't it? Ah! Good grief, Joe! Be more careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Something doesn't add up. This was 2 days ago. I think all the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time? The window? Yes, we noticed the window overlooks over Briar Road. The incident took place when the pavement just far on the side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious of loitering nearby? 5 o'clock dinner time in the Garrett household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. What about you, John? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. The fog is low. I should think it would have been quite impossible to see it outside the road. Oh, I see. Well, is anything else in the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all, even if things unrelated? Well. Yes? There was something? Well, something particularly significant, but around the time of there. Ah! For the love of God, John, what are you doing? Oh, dear me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. To be more careful, woman. Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Oh, yes? I have an extremely good memory, and as far as I can remember, nothing of any significant took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Garrett? You say you were talking before. It sounds like Rowdy might have been there. Oh, well, as I was saying, it is really matter nothing. Ah! Josh! Joe! Dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. You sat there and tried to nip on me on, Joe. That's right, Mr. Garrett. What is the matter with these two? Honestly, I don't even know. Well, something happened in this room in the evening of the incident. But what? I wish I knew. Can we have go to Mr. Natsume's room, because we need that. What about which floor Mr. Natsume is on? Why, certainly, just below the first floor. Mr. Sholmes investigating there even to speak. Yes, tell Mr. Nats his name, ask him to look into the matter, give him the key. Natsume has changed the of services? That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we were to look around Mr. Natsume's room, I mean? I don't see why not. Just upstairs. Who knows if we'll find anything to help us in case I have to try. Put up all the clues in hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there. Let's push Mr. Souls again. Perhaps we'll help more. Let's go. Here we go. The window is blocked off. No wonder he gets no sunlight. February 19th. What? Just look at this place. Smell of it. Must be in here. I suppose these mountains of old books are responsible for that. I don't think there's ever been books in my life. No, me neither. It's so dark in here too. The window's blocked off. Is that a window over there? No, it was a window, I think, yes, once upon a time. But for some reason it closed up the bricks of the mortar. So this is where Miss Natsume lives. And there's a cat. By the way. I haven't found Mr. Holmes anywhere, have you? I thought she would have hooked me together. I was told that the guy should be around here investigating. Let's examine. Look at this cat. Hi. Meow. Oh, he's stretchy. Stretchy. And there he goes into the pile of books. Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after the books his master's away? I don't know about that. Disappeared into the pile of books with a flash. And that was a tricolor Mickey, was it? Poor cat here in Great Britain. Perhaps we have to be a breath teacher from Japan? That's made of like no. Alright. I'm in the country for 2 days. The cat just disappeared. But he really likes cats. That's a given. Look at all those books stacked up. There's almost a ceiling. That was reading was good, sure. It's supposed to balance looks how you have your short reading material. No, a dreamy idea. A bad dream ended my release. Mind you, I don't imagine look at the bottom of the pile now to read it again. Reading is experience that comes once in a lifetime, but it's just tea ceremony teaches necessarily expect a conversation turned down the path tea ceremony philosophy. Could it even call this a window? I think so, but it was a window one time before. Although there reminds me of a frame with some bricks though. Oh really? Is a wall then, is it? I don't know if we break it up like that. I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah! Perhaps it's not painted a brick wall designed for whimsy. Ugh, that's alarmingly feasible. Here, whatever a place lack of ventilation here makes me a place very opposite. It does in being cooped up in here. Let's see here. The Tessie is wedged in the crevice between the mountains and the books either side. I suppose my husband would sit here and read it stroking his cat, but his lowering tone too as your dreams of both every night. This is done, mostly. Oh, what's this? It's a receipt. Secondhand bookshop. You books. Yes, Mr. Johnson's name was on it. The date purchase is 45. That's the day the incident. A short while, it was a terrible attack. It must have been buying some old books. That's very important. Another cat. We're taking cat home. But bulky isn't. Surely Mr. Johnson didn't figure the money necky knuckle different band with him. I hardly think his position you're calm, Mr. Nuttahuddle. Are you forgetting enormous Daruma doll that you brought from your luggage? Well, it gave me danger traveling abroad, so I want a lucky charm. I don't know if Mr. Johnson wanted to say the cat should have beacon of good luck. Come here, Mario. Not done a very good job, is it? You mustn't say such things. I say a word! Where am I supposed to give away? So the windows. Oh! Hi! I didn't see you there. Hello, you just popped up into existence. Oh look, Mr. Nuttahuddle. Hi. Aha, there he is. Where did he appear from? He just popped out of nowhere. He just popped out. He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. Let's hope he doesn't want to disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, you too. Good day. Now, let me see. Where was that? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together. This is Budia. Yes, of course, Budia. Well, let's see what happened in that voyage. It was caused by Sogi. He died tragically. No regret about this. Ah, yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Sogi. With the snake, wasn't it? Oh, well, you seem to remember something of it, at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr. What is that with your madam? Hold your tongue. I pride myself superior powers of recollection. Names a secret part of my brain attic. Miss Nuttahuddle. Mr. Susato. Try not to wait around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. Oh my god. Well, let's talk. truth, I had hoped to invite you about my Baker Street suite. If I'm in London, also from Scotland, you're much near the railway station with me away to crime scene. Oh, in Germany, okay, so of course. Doesn't matter, no matter, in some cases, in that short amount of time. You can dull the go through the past a little. Mistake to think that one's brain attic with elastic walls to some extent. You also forget to use those facts and you let elbow useful ones. Yes, those are my own words, men with wisdom, you know, from the adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. He means Edie's, I suppose. Mr. Holmes, we have some extremely important aspects to ask in trivial cases she's mentioned. Goodness, what an expression. My dear madam, would you be able to please American rules of place to discuss rookie case? Mr. Natsume is arrest. We know there's been lodgings of Japanese foreign student named Soseki Natsume. Since you assisted arrest Mr. Sholmes, he's having a young woman outside the Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe his name right around here. Mr. Natsume denies it. Is it really justifiable to arrest him so little? Sorry, Mrs. Santopo, I have no idea what you mean. What? Come here, my deal. Can't believe he was looking so severely said I for feigning ignorance. I assure you, I'm not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear this pair of you under misapprehension. Oh, how? I assure you have no intention accusing your stuff of committing a crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective has got Yarby to follow the request for me to convert him. When you assert the identity of whereabouts of the man seen fleeing the crime scene. Oh man, seen fleeing. I remember a book scattered on full payment machine. Book plates was able to determine the bookshop and when they come from purchase. Speaking of the proprietor, the address elementary, would you say? I believe we received around somewhere establishing the question. Do you think Mr. Natsume was culprit though? But I cannot tell you. There was hence why I returned here. I was placed in such a trouble with fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. I deceived into the believing that I'm a man of leisure. No. Oh dear. Mr. Garrett of the landlord. Oh, tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of the lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garrett, a retired military man. The first time I've ever seen him, met a soldier from the Great British Institution of Services. That was the first time I ever seen made from the British Institution, that was service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you've been aware, the household employee maid. Yes, I've went to get brain primer. And so, conversely, whatever not household employees may have come with between social standing is really different. Okay, their social standing? Sorry? For example, my dear fellow, those who are employed at least single maid are considered middle class, are beneath that. For excellence of society, of course, household employees, those staff consist of a large family. Goodness, hi, short hair. But you can appreciate those are no fractious boundary between the middle and lower classes. Being able to afford just one maid is the first importance. I had no idea. That is the first reason you find the great civilizations up this upstairs. Specifically, the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garrett. Oh. Availability as a fellow telling something. But if not opposed to this is the case, I'm not certain. I'm fairly lost on what he says. The dingy room. It's really suffocating the soul, my dear fellow. I'm sure you, man, was lost in dwelling place with nap sooner or later. The sense of it have no one. What about sooner or later, as I said? I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I've never seen a window as worse. It's just covered in bricks. I've completely blocked the bricks. Ah, I see. That's the answer to the question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax. Oh yeah, that's real. Okay, that was actually real. Okay. So that's a real thing that actually did happen back then. Is that they actually taxed you on windows, which is really stupid, but they did that. It's really dumb, but that did exist. Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it existed. Until relatively recently, a tax limited households in the country by the number of their windows. Those with lesser means have inherited a sizable costly family home, perhaps rapidly close windows up. Or rich open the windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor and power and furnishing large sums of tax money. How awful! I'm just forcing people to close their windows. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. Some 40 years ago, Fairboss window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you see, a squad of large disease, for example. As well, she's not Smith's for living here in London is very generous for house. It will appear so, done a little digging. I discovered that these lodgings were offered extraordinarily low prices. Because the room's so awful, I'm thinking. Her myself only moved in here because about a week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Still, it's a little levels here. It's a matter of showing for attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. No! Ah, I spilled! No! Mario! Ah, thank you, Mr. Schultz. That's just another hold. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? Oh my god. My popcorn fell on the floor! I'm not joking, dude! You remember that, did you? Maddie, you're helping me eat this. I have to feel the matter with it. I should real listener. Not Sume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? Oh, what grounds? I tried defense on in court here only yesterday. Ready? Well, congratulate yourself on a bitch and realize. So probably too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. To believe in my clients? To trust their innocence? Yes, trust. I'm trying to clean this up while I'm reading. Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Nasume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there was simply too many fascinating books here. I could have possibly ignored him. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there's two to unequivocally. I'm trying to clean this up. If led to see the crime 2 days ago was a Japanese occupant of the room. And there was witnesses who swear by having seen the same man commit the crime. That's all I can say. Trying to clean this up. Thank you, Mario. Thank you for helping me clean, Mario. You good boyo. You cleaner. I spilled it by accident. I'm sorry about that. There's one more thing. Oh, where's Mr. Sholmes? There we go. There we go. I cleaned it up. Better now. I was saying whether or not it's relevant to its case, but I'm quite sure that the retired army who owns the property is hiding something. I do see that too. You figure it out, Mr. Sholmes says much actually. Anyway, at present this is really all that plays in my mind in relation to the case. Mr. Nadahodo, as yet our investigations have uncovered nothing that establishes Mr. Natsume's innocence. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probe a little deeper into the Mr. Garrett's secret. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove the relevance or not. Of course. So let's go back to Garrett's room. We're gonna have our first deduction on this investigation. Let's go. Back to Garrett's. Ah, you pair again. Tell me, it was like the chap, I forgot his name, still hard to work down there. Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah, yes. Rings a vague bell. This is really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is an element down there. Ah, jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me— Wah! Tough time, woman, will you watch your Bali while doing? I shouldn't be serving dinner shortly, sir. Ah, yes, well, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to leave and be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. I'm deeply grateful for your assistance. Not at all, not at all. I'm just to talk to your photos like yourselves. It's a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you can see yourselves out. But if it's according to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrett is hiding something, since the investigation seems to be open, we should do some digging. Let's examine. the floor. Oh! Hi! There you are. Ah, what's he doing over there? Mr. Schultz! Aha, we meet again, my dear fellows. Hi! Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? The election of the service, sir. What are you doing over there at the window? I'm given to watching the evening sky as sunsets, madam. That sadly cheerful as from downstairs inevitably is life's the aperture of such adoration. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space for the window here. Well, keeping an eye into the one's windows in dusk is pretty faint in London gathering. Nah, one other thing, Mr. Hold on. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Yeah. Wait, he's not talking about it. He's talking about it so soon. That's... Look at Mario. I dropped some popcorn and flipped by accident and Mario helped me clean up. He's a little bit. He helped me clean up. He's a good... Mario helped clean up. He's a good boy. He helped clean. Hi! Coco hide him. Mario is a cleaner. The military may considerably distinguished service. Your standing as a landlord is more certainly not what might call a first rate. I'm afraid there is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw a careful observation. I beg your pardon. The first is that as you speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. Ah! And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you lost something very dear to you. Ah! Mr. Nadahoda, look! The old man broke into a cold sweat. Unbelievable, Mr. Schultz's conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly? How could I possibly? What do you mean to inquire? The answer could have been simpler, sir. For it is dense jungle of logic and reasoning, and I am the king of beasts. Ah! You know all too well that wild beasts are not easily kept. So, shall we begin? Once again, her lecture will present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, let's do it! It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. Fear some beast having a rampage and laid within the four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might the beast take? Ah, for the man with the military breeding, your eyes are remarkably candid. Grant me, Garrett, that leads us directly to the answer. Real about the lion statue. That's wrong. Why is there a giant-ass bullet? Two of them! The army man is opposing at best, and the fact that you're fully administration of lion, king of beasts. What's the piffle, I ask you? In the end, your administration is a great fact. A living, breeding specimen shipped from India, which tried to keep him in the very house. What?! Oh, I saw something on something on his face. Yet living in the wild beast proves more difficult than you had imagined. Oh my god! This wild rampage is still very much in evidence. Well... As we look around, the what else present itself. Where the angry creature disappeared to. Oh, madam. Me? I pray to not consider the chivalrous, but displayed me to glance in your direction. It is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clothes current to beast's whereabouts. And protruding from his head of a circus show. Yes, you sought to dispose of the terrified lion, Mr. Garrett, at Batty's Circus, which heavily shook currently adjourning a nearby park. I've observed the tents. Oh my god, dude. But what's the bird's rug? So savage lion circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I haven't made a point. The fearsome beast which ran among the room was an Indian lion. Simple visiting a circus now revealed a lion which is over ring of fire. Thanks for the beast. A rampaging aesthetic lion. I don't see that, bro. Aftermath. Now, Mr. Garrett, it is pretty clear you see deep feelings for a formidable beast. I know who it is. Indeed, as the bill poses distress, the loss of cause you very tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain around the supporting arm. If it's tears, let the beloved beast go. The rain will lose its beard equals for such. Nonsense, man! I simply. But what? We ask ourselves. The true cause of his pain. I would need to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, there's a pile of bills. Give it a rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand of payment. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you have no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out a less unimaginable attack. Unimaginable! The aftermath can be clearly seen by the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if not mistaken. Oh dear me. I'm going to such a destructive outburst. Ah! This isn't time, madam. I'm afraid it's unfairly revealed the truth to me. It's one to settle upon answer very neatly. Desired carpet of a tower of cakes. Yeah, I don't believe that. As this creature more dangerous on earth than a beast of unaccessible appetite. But was it allowed to set of certain noble women and bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of the tragedy, in fact. Whatever you mean. Having tried to taste the cake of beast takes something's pride. I'm sure that this spell arrangement of the carnival beast is my logical conclusion. God damn it. Worked in a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks of the carpet are perfectly matched. It's not a, it's more of a burn. So I don't see teeth marks, right? I see like, Yeah! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring holy tea all over me! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett. I'm afraid I didn't notice. My deductions are surely sharp as stands to reason your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill teas. Times two. Oh, because I was wrong there? Mr. Schultz, sorry, but again, but could I make an observation? It's certainly Mr. Naruhodo. What is it again? Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside this room this size? Indeed, is only a station for facts. Terrifying facts of all lies beyond the realms of common sense. Yeah, considering this inside the realms of possible common sense. But in case lion from among this room, surely Mr. Garrett may would have been hurt, or worse. True. This was where you were stuck. No doubt, a former military manhole was again the biggest of a large cannon. I thought you said that it's only lying in the circus. And what about the food, meat and potatoes? But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. True. Ah, my dear Mr. Seto, the curse of regularity. Their respective race and breeding whenever anyone lands to British soil. There appears with a highly appropriate taste of afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion. Well, then, Mr. Naruhodo, stay your shine again. I have a feeling this is coming. Aside, Massage does all Mr. Schultz's deductions need. You can do it. Excellent. We won't even trust your partner deduction. Step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. We don't even know whether or not this could be helpful in this case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile whenever the motivation. At least that's what I want to believe. Let's start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes, this logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Let's go. The sailor should have taken a detective to see. The fearsome beast of a rampaging lady from the walls. They were faced with this question: what form might the beast take? For a minute, military breeding will come in. Let's see what we got. So you said something about the lion. I don't think it's the lion. Sure, I didn't see the lion coming. No, but I'm just going to reaction as rather seems the beast in a day runs to be in the room. That's of a very fierce nature. Could it be in the transfer from India? So what was it then? Must have thought was scared of his gaze. Photograph frame. What's this photograph? It appears to have Mr. Garrett's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but he got his bride. Oh, it's unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass right clear in his face. I wonder what happened. Newlywed bride. The glass is broken if the bride tastes at all. Those cracks. I think it's powerful would be kind of plump as Hold on. Yeah, she looks like him. That's what I've said, that's for sure. Oh, you have a wedding ring. It's very large, isn't it? Yeah, it's unusual design. Something that's like a sunflower. Revealed by the newly wedded bride. There we go. Let's go. The true nature of the beast is run rampant here is revealed by the newly wedded bride. Precisely, Mr. Nanahodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, a framed picture of your wife, Mr. Garrett. There, while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can make our mighty arms and nothing considerable horsepower was contained. Oh, indeed, surely a woman powerful considered should be honored and described as a beast. Honored might be stretching the point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast is clearly established as ruin. What's your wife, Mr. Garrett? Yeah! The chilling traces of the wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yes, we look around the beast and question for herself. Why could this creature disappear too? Madam. But me? You pray to go to Chilverse was plain immediately a glance in your direction. The paper. I feel like that's wrong, so let's check it, bros. A poor fragile defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Holmes quite read. So sad Mr. Garrett. His whereabouts include his way to try to hide. I wonder if Garrett's like me. A wedding ring. There it is. Actually, it's a sun. It's like a very large ring. Look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with rather nice establishments. It's nice ring left hand. For me, it's surely a wedding ring. Looks like it could be our license too. Some of the pictures have to say. Do you know this with your wife and this photograph of her? Surely sunflower design as well. Really? I remember these things. Flash fire ring. It's quite coincidence that they all have the same ring, isn't it?
Take that!
The wedding ring. Yeah, of course. Their wedding ring gives a handsome clue as to Beast's whereabouts. Ah! Indeed it is. There's a flowery bag living in your finger gave away. For it is identical to the show they had with Sakura's bride. Print. In other words, you are not ordinary household maid. You are his wife. No. You are Mr. Garrett's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garrett herself. Oh my word! Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly summarized, this is my wife. Yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go. You might say you. Oh God. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man. You in your business renting out rooms. It would sound fair for you, really, if it means employed maid. Would that be correct? It's not right to tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, I'm sorry to chap and even for a single maid in his employ. Yes, her here in London is one rather judged. The households cannot be considered worthy of society if they employ their staff, though because their opinions such consideration are folly. You mean Mr. Garrett has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mrs. Garrett? Or Mr. Garrett? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Top secret, please. The raging wife of Mr. Garrett. I freaking love how it's the raging wife. That is the funniest conclusion. The raging wife. Now, Mr. Garrett. Alright, let's see what's next. It's plainly clear you still feel this from formidable beast. Indeed, his ability is very tangible. What do we got? As heavy weight on your shoulders, the pain is can you feel as if real in the arm. The wife as a beast! That's the full guy. That pose really sanctifying. Slap cheek. Oh my, that's a bright red mark. Gosh, that's quite something as in somebody's hand. Never a cigarette has been slapped by the face, it seems. Hard. Never such a clearly defined mark. Never had it done such a thing. Well, there's very limited number of candidates, I say. It's a slap cheek. Slapped cheek. Your head weighs on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by a slapped cheek. And of course, the deliberately impressive mark on your cheek refused to fade. Was you, Madame Joel Garrett? Well, yes. You're a bit desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Yeah! Yeah, you do see it when he does that. Oh, the blazes! Work that out, man! Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why I looked directly in my eyes. I could be on the side of you. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conjurum. Why are subject to such a violent slap? A noted word of most herself would cause Madame Garrett to fly into a rage. A fellow attracts you to gaze. Yes, a pile of bills is given the rights to pay to suffer. I don't see it, the bills, ma. You say those bills are over a line folder? Yeah, established the line never existed, which only means responsible for gobbling up the food was Miss Garrett's wife. Listen to the hold, she's a person, not a thing! Yes, well. She's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. So hard that it left the perfect handmark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'll answer that answer question. Let's see, so we know it's not the bookmark. Ooh, cheating! Look at the moment, there's a bookmark. Was the fully avid reader? Ooh, drama! Wait a moment. Oh, I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh, no, it isn't. It's really a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary! Look at the signature here. Lip marks made with lipstick. Ooh, an adventure romantic gesture. Don't get her to your face. Oh dear, sorry. This bookmark is actually a love note then. There's a broken plate over here too, on the side. It's called a citricity. The love note. The love note is the giving the pain. There we go, we got it. Yes, this is the love note is given a rest to suffer pain. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. You're getting pissed. Perhaps the sender of this would certainly Miss Mary as a flight high north went to. Ah! But I don't know that bally woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got in there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been saying. Yeah! A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained that at that time. I bought the book secondhand place, and that was already been in there. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right. That's what I've been saying. Yeah! Oh God. A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name is, in case you forgot, is John. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? Oh, please. And there we have it. Arouse suspicions of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Or slap. Oh God, dude. Now, in the final iteration, ferocious beast carried out to my less unimaginable attack. Unimaginable. Oh, sweet. Yeah, the burn the rug. The aftermath can be seen the carpet over here. Very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh dear. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time too many to breathe. As we're wondering, settle about the answer they leave me. As the pile of the tower of cakes. No, it's not the cake. But surely Mr. Graham didn't eat the carpet. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem any doubt that the state of disarray's room as a result of a wild temper. No, that's true. So it's part of his need to fix Graham's case. Oh my God. Alright, let's check it. Oh, sweet God. Knife. Candlestick. Oh, I see it. Yeah, candlestick. Looks like a very old candlestick doesn't in the basic smells unstable. Looks to me as like no, can make tap all over. Oh dear, it would be dangerous. Wait, take a close look. It's missing one of them. The candle's missing. Yeah, I didn't notice that before. Why is it, I wonder? If we go here, it's on the floor. According to my social seduction, this is mentioned in the input line. Oh, here. What is it? If you look at the edge, you see it scorch marks. It's a burn. Yes, you can. In that case, perhaps it was in the normal sense at all, unless you think this would win. The candlestick.
Take that!
There we go. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need to only look at the candlestick. Oh my god, dear, please. More illuminating, my dear fellow. And of course, the only possible way to look at a labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of the fresh attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed, they were. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room seals a marital affliction. Describes mighty arm muscles left an impression only in her husband's face. But in the entire room, the force of strength caused the candle to fall from the holder. And the second the carpet was alight, the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most precious beast in the world is neither a violent lion nor a woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. My dear fellow, you see here, this conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was seen with fire. That's a big-ass slap in the face. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Oh. Carpet scorched by a small fire. There we go. You got it. Pro. Don't dash the long winter nights, you know. Nothing but dear in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly second good-hand bookshelf, as according to the little novels here. And the pages in one particular novel, you discover some rather illicit material. And in which your wife oh god. Demolish her rather close to the mark. And the base is most certainly empty. Here we go again. And the carpet was destroyed by the fire when the candle flew forward? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. I can barely see a thing. I was caught between old sticks rage and the raging flames. Oh my god. Your wife is insane. You painted toward pictures, sir. Oh, that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire spread. Of course, the bally furniture were starting to go up as well. We had to hide a mess because of the screen being time. Oh, that explains the screen. I hear Mr. Gimba. Wait, you have nothing to hide now, you allow me? Oh, yeah, that's nasty. One of my favorite old novels in that case. When I see the fire got a hold of it, was whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh, and the wife started hurling things at me. Oh no! What a terrible sight it must have been. Oh, sweet. There, as I back up in the window under heavy enemy fire. I'm surprised she even used the fucking cannon. I'm honestly surprised she even used the goddamn cannon because there's a literal cannon in the room. I'm surprised she even used the cannon and the sword hanging on the wall. Enemy fire clearly, books coming 10 to dozen. Worst of it is I lost my favorite. Book's called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes, your Tories love big cats coming through again. I assure you, the title doesn't influence my choices. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of ferocious beast's rampage. The elections turned out to be correct once again. I can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was logical carnage. Flames everywhere and an old stick was full fettle. Out of interest, what time of the day was it? I can't remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think. It was exactly the same time. Asked the terrifying incident unfolding outside your window, the street below. Maybe the most terrifying inside, I can assure you. The whole blighty would have been flying outside my window at the moment. And I wouldn't have dashed into his face. Dashed away. There's a literal sword on the wall, so maybe she could have used that as well. Or hell, a giant-ass cannon with the fucking bullets. It's very possible. Oh, really? I mean, that would have been much worse than books, to be fair. I would rather get hit by a book than a fucking cannon. Mr. Schultz. Yes, Mr. Naruto, what can I do for you? Well, I think I'm about of a cigarette situation now, but what does that have to do with Mr. Smith's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, this is what you're all set. When you're less relief, I cannot be sure whether the secret proved relevant or not. I just know you were gonna say that. Not now, Mr. Naruhodo. You must lose heart. Bear in mind that all the things fall into two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not. It makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is far of great importance to make your mind now. Sorry. Visiting hours in the prison will soon be over. Oh shit! Or no, is it Tom already? If we're accepted to Natsume's case, with official paperwork, we tend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'll have to betake yourself to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare a supper for Mr. Garrett. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Sokeki-san will be waiting for us, and I've got to give him an answer. Let's get the fuck out of here. Back to prison. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a cat. Oh? What's the matter? Looks like something is going on there in front of the Garrett's house. Oh, hi! Who are you? I don't feel not old man, follow thy prayers. Why are you calling old man, you rum-looking empty pitney? Oh, these two. There's more to heavens and earth, Oratio, when they're dreamt of your philosophy. Who's Oratio, fella, eh? What are you on about? Excuse me? Hey, what the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, I've just got my big problem here. Hey, my associate here, Mr. Who's gonna tell us a lawyer, you see. Yeah, lawyer, eh? You may have your sisters have that copy of Japan to study English law. So, I hope you have my way today, but mark my words. They ain't over yet! Get fated another! Oh, look like a blooming nothing to you! This man has the goddamn jaw, the Hamir's jaw. You can't convince me otherwise. Oh god, that jaw, dude. Never not injured. Oh, fair restored maiden. That far so gentle, thank you. What was that all about? There's where things to heaven and earth. Oratio then dreamt of a philosophy. Oratio eater. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here at Garrett residence? A very sir maiden, foul word to right, said to a humble abode. Was heard to mention another lodger, didn't he? This must be that man. You happen to know the other lodger lives in the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy of a Poltemus in the Battle of Words than even a good beater. Sorry, battle, did you say? Oh, was a stronger Hamlet or Macbeth, or Mr. Natsume a spare long into the night. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and the gentleman acquaintances at least. So fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can't tarry here no longer. Very well! I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. Since he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, it can really help us. If it's okay, so the man's largest the Garrett house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I go find a carriage. Yes, I remember we really made this topic in this vision. That's gonna be important for later, by the way. Just to remind, it's gonna be important for the next game, for the next game's case. So just like one of the case for the next game, just keep that in mind. Remember that. Remember that encounter for later. You will have to remember that. I'm just saying, dude. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you're gonna have to remember it. Just as a little reminder. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched! Hi. We're so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh no, think of nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with the pleasure to accompany of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese! Oh, now let's not get carried away. I quite agree. Just something more reassuring than familiar of what dates his land. On the other hand, it is true a friendship transcending international borders, so truly precious fact. This is believe at least. Oh, it's just, it's you! The miserable, rotten spy, Mr. Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no more intention of doing anything per se, observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in the glowful room, and having amassed the secret identity of the eccentric pair, I decided I should drop away over the Price Ferry. Glowful room? At least your accommodation, I'll hear off his window, my dear fellow, says the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you in tasting books. My day has been delighted to cost me not a penny. You! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! Had it, I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It's a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits, it was the curse of logic. Still time my luck will be cursed into Ross trial as well. My whole life is deep What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto? You mentioned that once before, didn't you? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean? And there's much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Curse is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, when a man's lodgings are indeed tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Let's talk to him. I didn't mean move! I meant talk, right? Cursed trial. Mr. Natsume, what do you mean by to say you know? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why? Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous! You're just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything about it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean is this trial really cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper, or the Bailey? The Reaper! Oh no, what do you mean? Please, just tell me so surprisingly 16 words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? It was 16 words exactly! Oh, really, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me see here. Okay. How many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, it technically is. Actually, yes, it is 16 words. Cool. I didn't know that. Yesterday, Mr. Naruto successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGill did. What? What? That was so good. Ah, I'm impressed, Mr. Sister, though you have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be to having fellow he was convicted. Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself. Oh no, he couldn't have done it, surely. You have wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Ah, of course he is! Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth did you mean by that? The Reaper. Van Zeeks is quite an exceptional man, however, in London's court of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case with exception. Ah, that's good. So Seki-san looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. I found out a British criminals about the jury. Left is of the letter of the law, well, it's the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It's an excellent system, whereas the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. That is true. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can't use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Converting evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. But such a visa would want to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means that the wrong verdict can be passed. Yes. And sadly, it's from the time to time, my dear madam, that it's simply the reality of such a situation, and that's alright. However, those indicted by the Lord Van Zeeks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. The judiciary may seem to leave the courtroom with the freedom. Within months, they all disappear. It is the most striking. Disappear? How? Ah, but a matter of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the flames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly recovered from fever. Perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Nodohodo. I knew it. I'm dead. No, doomed! Cursed lodgings. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to the room Mr. Garrett's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I've only been in London for a week and I started noticing strange feelings myself. That didn't take long, though. Everywhere I looked, where I was staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. Then I were always staring at me all the time from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear would go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to the Finland Briar Road a week ago. Yes, why did you choose there? It seemed a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap, and I have so little money, so it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops! He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it to me in the first place." Yes, well said. Very well said, actually. But it is true. Well, true? You mean the room is really cursed then? Ever since I moved into the windowless hellhole? My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I've been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer. Thrown in prison, nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. Ah, poor dude. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. These days are hard to believe in me. Really? No one at all? To believe. Yes. To believe. To believe. We're almost done with this episode. Then next episode we'll start with the trial. It's actually very short. Surprisingly, the trial is actually super short. It's only like a 2-part trial. It's only a 2-part trial, so then after that it's just done. It's only a 2-part trial. It's not 3 parts. It's only a 2-part trial. So it's a very short trial. The investigation is the longest part here. Mr. Sholmes? Ah, B, Mr. Nodohodo. Pray we're gonna do for you. It's about the case of Mrs. Buria, if you recall. The Buria. The Buria. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. In that time, I was just the suspect. You believed in me and listened to my side of the story, and you helped us investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe in me? I see, yes, you mean. Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found in the victim of a locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. Said I didn't do it. But I couldn't have been lying. I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are that I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind that it was to be believed, and what is not. And I should like to believe in something, I do. Circumstances hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could betray your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error in judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is no overuse excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not you can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right! Look, student, not Mr. Nuthold, Esquire. A defense lawyer is only good if his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You were so right, Kazuma. Alright, we're almost done here. Then we're gonna end the episode. Well, my dear fellows, this time we're leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume, if you like, in trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. I'm gonna cry! Look, student Mr. Nodohodo Esquire! As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth, and how to believe even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Nodohodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative to be proven in court. Welcome, student Mr. Nodohodo Esquire! I will fight for your innocence until the bitter ends, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when I first met, I like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up in the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Susato? Yes. Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Schultz believes in me now too. So it's time. It's time to learn that I learn to believe in myself. So Hageki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, I'll be fighting myself. Here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna end it right here. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, can't speak, oh. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and whatever. And next time, we're gonna go ahead and start the trial. This is gonna be basically we're basically gonna end basically it's gonna be the second half. Essentially, we're just gonna go ahead and do the trial. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the whole trial, both part 1 and 2. Again, here's the thing with the trial is that like it's actually pretty short. It's actually not that long of a trial compared to last episode's trial where I had to split into 2. This one's actually where I had to split into 2 parts. It's actually surprisingly not that long. So yeah, see you guys then.